In this video, I'll be covering the Heidi Roizen case study. First, I'll be talking about the strengths that Heidi had over all the stages of her career. And then I'll also be talking about the concepts and the principles that we learned about in Module 5 and how they apply to Heidi's networking success, her influence, and her power over the course of her career. Heidi realized that she relied too heavily on others and not enough on herself when her fiancé suddenly died in a plane crash. She realized she needed to invest more time in a network of people, and so she did, and she became really good at it. As starting out as an editor, she took advantage of a short opportunity to talk with her CEO, and it was a small conversation, and she turned it into a contact and part of her network moving forward. She simply had a passion for meeting smart and interesting people, not necessarily people that were powerful or had a lot of money. In the beginning, she was just good at maximizing those opportunities when they presented themselves, and she carried that throughout her career. She felt comfortable interacting with people in many different situations, and even though she may not have talked to every single person in the network that she was building every single day, she was driven to have consistency and performance, meaning that she always backed up what she said, and she was prompt in her relationships and getting back to people. She was always professional in those relationships as well, and that she was confidential with every conversation, and she kept it neutral, and she wasn't biased towards one side or the other. But the downside to all of this is that people always wanted to talk to her and always wanted to have meetings with her. Roizen realized over time that every relationship requires balance. For example, she can't spend a lot of time sending emails that have lots of words and lots of paragraphs, and to be honest, those people didn't want to read those, and she knew that. So she started making her emails short and to the point, but thoughtful at the same time. And she was also thoughtful in her response and prompt with her response to save people time, but make sure they know that she was interested in what they had to say. No matter where Heidi was or what she worked on, she was always building her network, and like I said, she was really good at it. So she actually made networking her business. No matter where she worked, if it was for Apple or anywhere else, that was her business, was networking. So now I'm going to apply the Module 5 readings to Heidi and how she networked. In both of the Harvard readings for Module 5, I was thinking that Roizen may not have just outright said, I'm going to use the liking principle to gain a network. She just simply did it. But although the liking principle goes along with how I feel she did some things, she seemed to genuinely like those people that she had relationships with. And those people probably liked her too, and liked to work with her, because it seemed just from reading her case study that she had energy and she wanted to put and invest time in those people. Another principle was the principle of consistency in one of the Harvard readings. Consistency was one of Roizen's main qualities of what's good to have when building a relationship, and she lived up to what she said. In the How to Build Your Network article, it was almost just take Heidi and you were just reading a list of how Heidi did things. She had the power to create and maintain a network. She also worked in many places with many different people and used a wide range of skill sets. She can adapt to different personalities to gain network and to gain insight and to build relationships. Her dinner parties connected her with networks and allowed her to see them in a different setting, and as well as they saw her in a different setting. So she looked for smart, interesting people, not just people of power. And the brokers that was talked about in the How to Build Your Network post, they weren't brokers with money or power. They were brokers with no power, but she just found them smart and interesting. All of this together makes me want to meet her. She seems like she has a lot of energy and she cares about the people that are around her. So now I want to talk about give and take and how I would apply that to Heidi and what I've learned from both of them. And it truly was a give and take situation. Heidi wanted give and take from both parties and a mutual benefit from both parties, which I think is a good way to look at it, because you don't want to give everything and not ever get anything in return when you're trying to build a network. And Heidi did a great job of that. And she wasn't one that asked for something every time she turned around, but she wasn't giving everything away either. And she found a great balance to work for her. And maybe different balances work for different people. And that's the conclusion that I've come to. Heidi did what worked for her, and she was very good at it. So I've learned a lot from doing this, and it truly is a balance, and she had a great personality to build a great network and adapt it over time.